Hey everybody, thanks again for tuning in. This is the next part in the set of videos on the Java application from scratch. We're doing a login system for this one. Uh, so in this one we are going to be working on the controllers. We made the skeletons, we have them here. It's tied to our view, our fxml files, in the view package. We have our model made. So now we need the controller, and then after that we're going to tie it all together with the application and some other things that we're going to add in these two classes. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the MainSceneController, and we're going to start off, well, first off we're going to trim this. This doesn't need to be, these are both the same types. We can get rid of some of these white spaces, and okay. Alright, so in our controllers we need access to our main structure, which is the account bag. We need access to an account bag. So what I'm going to do here is create a variable. Now it doesn't need an fxml tag on it, so we're going to give it a little space between these two. We'll just call it private account bag, because remember, we want our account bag is what's going to hold all of our accounts, obviously, and we want that to maintain itself across all of our scenes. We have the main scene, we have the account creation scene. Ooh, you know what? I don't like this naming convention. I'm changing this. Account creation scene view. It didn't have the word view in it. Main scene view. I always try and keep the names consistent. So I'm going to save this as that. Account creation scene view. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to refresh. Right? Creation scene view. And now I'm going to go into my fxml. Sorry. Actually, I didn't even have to do that. I didn't have to do that. Okay. I can just, let me just delete this. We'll refresh this. And we'll just refactor. Account creation scene view.fxml. My apologies. I hate when things are not consistent. So we'll keep this one as the one that we're working with here. And let me just make sure that that one's not in there. Okay, cool. The other one, the bad one, isn't in there anymore. Good. All right, so let's continue on this. So we need a persistent structure across all scenes. Say we have our main scene view, account creation scene view, account creation controller, main scene controller. I'm going to refactor that again. Well, this other thing here, because it's account creation scene controller. Let's change that. That should all be okay. Account creation scene view. Just make sure that this didn't change. Okay, account creation scene controller. Good. Okay, it updated everything. All right. That's something you might have to watch out for, so be careful. Private account bag. Account bag. All right, because we just want it to be. Oh, we got to import it. We just want it to have. We need it to be persistent across all scenes. So this is the controller for the main scene. This is the controller for the account creation scene. And we're going to want this in both of those. So we will put it in there in a second. We are going to put it there. All right, so let's see, what are we doing first? So now we're going to have this implement an interface called initializable. And we're going to import this. And what this is going to do is going to give us a method called initialize. I'm just going to change the names here for consistency. And what this does is it's the first thing every time you switch to a scene, right? I'm just moving it up here because it's called initialize and it's the first thing that happens. So I want it to be up top. So basically, it's whenever you go to this scene, the main scene, whether it's opening the application or coming back from the account creation scene, whenever you get to this scene, this initialize method is called. It's the first thing that happens whenever you go to this scene from anywhere. This initialization scene is called. And you'll see in a minute what that's gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything. We're gonna initialize it here, but we're not gonna create a new one. I'll show you what we're gonna do. So after that, we're going to we'll get back to this in a minute. We're going to do the create new account button clicked. Well, we could, yeah. We're not going to do that. We're not going to tie the scenes together yet. We'll do login button clicked first. So this is going to need a couple. This is just bear with me. I'm going to explain everything that it does after I do it, but follow along as I type so you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll make sense along the way. If not, I'll try and explain it afterwards, and hopefully it'll make sense then. So first, we're going to have a string. We have our variables up here for all of our scene objects. You know, we have our text field, our password field, button logout, label alert message, label current user. So we're going to have a string called username, and we're going to set it equal to text field. You can do control space, and it'll give you this drop-down menu. Like if you type a bunch of letters and then control space, it'll fill everything out for you. Text field, enter username dot get text. That's going to be the username string equals password field, enter password dot get text. And then we're going to create a temporary account for when we try to log in or try to create. Sorry, when we try to log in, it needs to check the credentials of the account being passed. So basically just create a temporary account, essentially. Remember, we have the find method in our account bag that we made. And we're going to search by the username, so... Oh, we have to import this from model. So you have that. And I'm going to make two private methods. One of them to clear all the text fields, so we don't have to do that in this, and we can, you know, so it's not so bulky. We don't have a billion lines of code to do something that we can just do in a private method. So down here, I'm going to do private void clear all text fields, no parameters. And so what we're going to do for this is text field enter username dot clear, and we're going to do password field enter password dot clear. And that's going to clear both of those, and we're going to use this in our other controller as well, but with with like one more text field. So and then we're going to do one more private method, another private void. We're going to call it display alert message. And that's going to get past the string. And what this is going to do, now this is, I'm not exactly a UI like professional or anything, so this isn't, I'm sure there's better ways to code this, some of this stuff in UI, especially since I know Scene Builder has a lot of the stuff that you can initialize things as and whatnot. So I know there's better ways to do this. I'm just, you know, doing this particular way because it works, and it doesn't affect the overall functionality of the code. So that's fine, you know. But yes, there are better ways to do what I'm about to type out. So we have our label alert message, and we're going to set the text to the string we're passing. Right? This string that we're passing here. And we're going to wrap it. I know I'm like 99% sure I could just set that in scene builder. Not set visible true. This I have to do here. This line we have to do here. This one. So we have these two. Okay, now so we're going to do, this is our login button. So we want to initialize our label alert message to not be visible. And we also want the text to be red. Set text fill, we create a paint object, dot value of, and we can just put red here. And again, just follow along. I'll explain briefly afterwards how this works. If you don't understand, it should be pretty straightforward, but you know. And this is a hex value that I had to look up, but it's like a green. It's like a matte green. Alright, so basically this is just going through. Okay, so first thing it does, it checks to see if the username is blank, and it checks to see if the password is blank. If either of those fields are blank, it's going to tell you gotta enter both of them. Else, if that's not the case, meaning if one of them does have something in it, if the password of the account that you're passing in is equal to the password of the account that it finds. Oh, sorry, the other way around. If the password of the account that it finds is equal to the password that you're passing it, you'll get a successful login. So it'll set the label to green. It'll clear all the text fields. It'll tell you this. It'll set the current user label to true, visible, and then it'll set the label's text to logged in as current user, or logged in as username, because that's the current person that you just sign out. And then it'll set the sign out button to visible. Else, meaning the passwords didn't match, it'll clear the password field and say that it's an invalid username or password. And if it didn't contain the account that you're looking for, it'll say invalid username or password. Okay, so we have that. And now we're going to have our sign out button clicked. Oops, keep calling that. That's set visible. So remember, we want these to be not visible by default. And again, I'll say it again, there's definitely a better way to do this, probably just using Scene Builder. But, whatever. We're here. Set text fill. Whoops. Set that to blue to show the user that you're currently logged in as. What did I? Oh, I'm looking. The thing I'm referencing, I'm looking at the wrong line. I'm sorry. Just going to clear all text fields. Display the alert message telling them that they've signed out. All right. Get rid of that. Have our quit menu item clicked, which is just going to do platform.exit. I think this is Java, yeah. And then we'll do system.exit 0. I think you only need one of these. I'm pretty sure you only need this, or you only need one, but it doesn't matter. Pick one, choose one, do both, doesn't matter. Just have at least one. Yeah, and now we just have to do the create account button clicked. And we're actually going to do that in the next video because that's going to tie together the other controller with this controller. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe. I know this was a little bit of a lengthy video, but yeah, I'll see you in the next video.